This video is purely for people like me, those who are incredibly late to the party, sitting in a metaphorical tank and generally take a while to process stuff. We'll talk about this whole boom, what's going on with our era, and speculate about what comes next a bit. Metamodern. It's believed that we currently live in the era that came after postmodernism. Long ago, dubbed metamodernism. The concept is just a blurry, foggy, and smugged as Gaussian filter in Photoshop. Max it out to hell, and honestly, the only thing clear about it is that it sounds very smart, okay? On the hand, it's supposed to mean a new kind of sincerity and emotional depth, because in contrast to the postmodernism and its cynicism, logically people would start craving something real, truth, at least some justice, kindness, and, well, some soul. But then, in a dramatic twist, I walks in and completely rewrites the game. No one expected this tech to hit like that. Just bam. This new reality hits us like wave, and the older generation didn't even have time to get their shit together before it happened, or even understand what was going on, which is why in that nursing home known as Facebook, oh, pardon me, it asked to be called Meta now, right? Hello kids, hello kids. A branch office of hell opened up right there on Earth. It was instantly flooded by eye horrors and endless bot-generated nightmares, shrimp Jesus, deformed kids, and mutants. Lord мой. Postmodernism and the last era. Postmodernism was all about irony and mockery, endless references and self-repetition. Repetition. Hard one. The motto of the fall era was that nothing new could be invented, because everything would always be a remix or reheated piece of old gum. I is the peak of that philosophy. What better express the secondariness of the secondary than AI? The glorified third rate mashed into absolute. What can be more cynical than machine that devoured every image in the internet, chewed it into pixels, blended it into mush, and then statistically split out something vaguely coherent? What is that if not the Antichrist. I seriously don't get how no church has yet come out saying, "We told you so. We are always knew God is just a concept. We told you so." And now we live with the Kibia Antichrist, a ruthless, soulless machine that sucks up parts of the real people's souls, mimicking suffering, emotions, feeling, even entire lives. It aims to take from thousands the very work of their lives and has already stolen the styles, identities, or reputations of thousands more. It's statistically perfect in its simplicity. It tempts you to abandon growth. Why try? Why develop when it can do everything for and instead of you? It can write instead of you, think, even draw, compose poetry in music. You don't need creativity anymore, you can just consume what the machine already made, of course. Relax, get comfy, scroll. You don't need meaning, you don't need pleasure. You need stimulation, right? It's gently jerk off your brain and you'll feel blissful oblivion. And when it's time to do something to earn money, or when you just want to feel more creator, like you're in control, like you leave something behind in this life, or find some kind of meaning, it'll invent all of that for you too. You need no suffer, no need to learn. Just trust I. And if you get lonely, you can just talk to it. It never betray you or hurt you. It can make a video for you to show others, or talk to people on your behalf. And you can watch videos others AIs made for other people, but you'll never ever know that. And if you don't know, does it even matter? Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that utopia? Postmodern proclaimed that repeating, stealing, and making endlessly shameless references isn't just allowed, it's necessary. Even the only way art works. Still, like an artist, no one creates anything on their own. Everyone is inspired by someone or something, and everything in this world is secondary. You won't come up with anything new, everything already been invented before you. Amazing statements from an era that grew like mold on top of modernism. A time of revolutions, war, and upheaval. A time of the most incredible and previously unseen trends, the boldest experiments and innovative breakthroughs in art. Maybe that's why, in a well-fed era, lazy people feeling their own inadequacy indulged their apathy to the fullest and claimed it was all intentional, even correct. Now you don't even need to create anything. Flashbacks can wash the dishes and the floors while an iron god solves the real problems. That hyped up buzzword Metamodernalism, supposedly the name of our current era, is it still even here with us in same room? Did you feel that sincerity and emotional depth in recent years? Did you feel any revolution in art? To me, metamodernism is like communism. It sounds okay, beautiful, but when someone tries to make it real, it turns into pure, unfiltered bullshit. It's a time that was already outdated before it was even born. It never truly exists to me. More like prophecy people cling to that never actually came true. And all that will be left in the history of meta, are the metaverses, which turned out to be not that interesting after all, and retirement home social network for tasteless cultists of the shrimp messiah. Sorry again, by then it'll be graveyard with zombies where only demons take kibber dumps in comment sections beneath the warmth of the Antichast. We desperately need a new era, and when I think about what its manifesto could be, I want its values to be so honest that even the word sincerity feels like toilet paper. Human weaknesses should come first. Our real imperfections shouldn't just be acknowledged, even our vice and sins should be paradoxically embraced and loved. But what will that even look like? What does honesty with ourselves and others truly mean? The goals and values of every era always boil down to one thing: the search of meaning. And sincerity is hollow. People fake it easily, both to others and themselves. In reality, people don't even want honesty from others because they aren't ready to reveal their own truth. It's scary, risky, full of consequences, especially today. That's why I don't really feel like this is what society needs most, but what's truly valuable to you. What do you personally value most in life and people? I am still thinking about all of this, even if I know the answer in previous two questions. I want to talk to many people read a lot, study about this. But for now, let's pause this conversation. Right now, I want to talk about whether there any value in AI-generated art. Does the title of artist even matter? When you use a camera, a pencil, or DaVinci Resolve, you're creating something. That means you have control over it and you can sell it as a creator. If you want to call yourself an artist, go ahead, sure, but what right do you have to monetize and sell a photoshopped collage or an image you just slapped a filter on? That's illegal, it's regulated, and honestly it's boring. It doesn't sell much because nobody really needs it or finds it interesting. The only people who buy that crap either don't respect themselves or just don't care about you and your art. So I don't get why someone spend money on something so low effort unless they really don't respect themselves. If you seriously believe that slamming together pixels stolen from millions of artists using a prompt type it into a bot makes you an artist or creator and gives you the right to register or monetize that work, you're delusional. You're lost in some fantasy. Like that guy who tricked everyone by submitting AI art to competition and tried to patent it. And of course got denied. But only a tiny fraction of people using AI this way, complete amateurs, actually want to be called real artists or AI artists. Just a few of the most clueless idiots screaming like, now art is finally for everyone. There will always be idiots, but even worse are the scammers, sleazy bastards, and corporations who never create about expressing themselves or making art. All they want is product for people to consume. And from an ethical, moral, and philosophical perspective, especially from the wealthy West, of course, this shouldn't even exist. It's a direct copyright violation. Millions of artworks were flat out stolen, digested into hellish blender without permission. Okay? But from the perspective of the mass, the uneducated, the starving, and millions of Chinese, Indians, or Russian villagers, none of that matters. They eat up and be happy. That's understandable, that's sad truth. We all know that. And sadly, that's not going away. So thanks for the gift. The future has never looked more dystopian, but it is fucking bullshit too, actually. I tell you why below. The value of art will always be subjective. And I mean art, not picture. Let me explain this carefully, okay? Some artists say, I generated images have no real value because the value of art lies in part in the human effort poured into creating it. That could be years of study, all leading up to a single brush stroke that end up worth millions. Or it could be an intensely technical, hyper-realistic painting someone spent 10 years on, the size of the skyscraper that nobody even heard of and no one gives a damn about. You see where I'm going, right? Or it could be the Nike logo, yes, something almost by accident from a single stroke, or the Chupa Chups logo literally designed by Dali in just a few minutes. Yeah, that Dali, the most money-hungry artist who ever lived, who did everything for marketing. People still argue whether maybe Dali is just a genius marketer, not an artist at all. So when people for removed from the industry say things like even the greatest art can be made easily, so why not just use some prompts? Artists cringe because the core problem here is understanding what art actually is. For artists, art isn't the image. It's the act of creating, it's the intent to bring something new in the world, to inject meaning. But for the average consumer, art means a product, pictures, videos, a finished song. All they care about is something they can buy or sell. But products are made by design, not by art. The consumer doesn't care how a product was made. They care about the price, the quality, and whether it's easy available. Design is what determines quality. It ensures the product is convenient, usable, and fits its purpose perfectly. If it's a teapot, it should be beautiful, comfortable, and practical. The design is a blueprint, a guide for the engineer. And as we know, AI doesn't design anything new. It just averages out the data and spits out the statistical middle. Art is the opposite of design. It doesn't need to be practical. It doesn't need even meaning. The meaning of art is the art itself. That's why things like Malevich, Black Square are art, and you driving a black square in your bedroom isn't. Art is eternal. People will always make art, that's obvious. But AI has made it harder not to create, of course, but to monetize creativity. That's the real struggle now. However, there once special category I call art design. Basically, anything that becomes a marketing product, art installations in malls, fancy festival entrances, loading screens and games with pretty illustrations, arts, posters, anime figures, mugs with cute prints, pens with funny designs. These are objects where the design isn't just functional, it's special and not just beauty. It's special, okay? These things create atmosphere, influence emotions, or serve a purpose, even a small one. Character figures and toys were originally the foundation for your favorite shows. Those products sell and they found the art. Think about My Little Pony, anime, manga, X-Men, superheroes. Sculptures in shopping centers exist to make you feel good. So you let your guard down and spend more. And an interesting scene at the concert sets the atmosphere for whole show. Remember when I said that consumers only care about how much a product costs? It's relative quality and availability. Well, by availability, I mean whether a person can actually get access to the service or buy it in the first place. Price and quality are pretty straightforward. If a game is insanely expensive and the quality is trash, its reputation tanks, or people just don't buy it. Cheap and high quality products will always dominate as long as they acceptable, accessible, and marketed well. But when there's no access, piracy steps in. With Steam entering the market, game piracy dropped significantly thanks to a good, accessible service. Unfortunately, anime still hasn't caught up. Same with films. Streaming platforms are still incredible garbage. Same goes for manga, sculptures, and even commissioning artists directly. Honestly, creating AI for marketing content might as well be called corporate piracy. Now, it's not people stealing from companies, it's companies and corporations stealing from people. Their music, their art, their ideas, even their YouTube videos. Now, if you don't know, YouTubers, just like artists, need at least some kind of anti-AI poison subtitle because their content is being scrubbed and regurgitated into articles or whole summaries by some cyber antichrist. The only difference, normal piracy actually has some upsides, like archiving, accessibility, fan base growth, and building a community around the product. Indirectly, it still brings in money, though merch, or wherever else. Corporate piracy, though, it gives absolutely nothing except digital vomit from their eye overlords, which they then spoon feed to their brain milked consumers. And that attitude should not be normalized. They should be ashamed. At the very least, it's immoral and it's clearly disrespectful towards the so-called consumers. People don't want to be consumers, actually. They want to be viewers, fans, an audience. They want to be humans. Creating something new or just making any kind of art is 1,000 times harder now, because the moment you upload even a hint of it online or some just shadow of idea, it gets ripped off to train some model. Thousands of artists had their style stolen, so millions of people could generate billions of revolting knockoffs of their life's work. And then those same artists get banned for looking too much like AI. Now, to prevent your work from being stolen the second it's posted, you literally have to disinfect it and poison it for the AI in advance with special software that scrambles pixels positions so it's human can't notice, but an AI can't recognize. Think that's solve the problem? Nope. If everyone poisons their images and photos, eventually the AIs will feed off that content will just start to rot from the inside and poke out some unrecognizable sludge. But wait, China already came up with a new way to steal. Now I can generate 3D models from just a picture, even building the backside under the right conditions or with few references shots, and these models meh, but printable. It's not ready to be used rough in games yet actually, but maybe give it time. Artists were never really safe. Chinese companies and other companies, used to mold figures and knock them off for resale, copying images in the worst pathetic quality and printing them on AliExpress phone cases. Now, even in countries where copyright technically works, no one gives a shit about this global scale theft. It all happened so fast, no one even processed it. Now we're just sitting here watching Coca-Cola release an AI remake of legendary commercial make almost 20 years ago by insanely talented humans. That ad made the brand iconic. It was made creatively, lovingly with soul. It carried itself into the memories of millions, and now it's crumpled and splat out in AI vomit, rigid into the faces of its original creators. McDonald's and other brands are gleefully hopping on the grossest trend AI-generated anime-style content mimicking Ghibli aesthetics. For them, it's just cheap entertainment, that's all. Well, actually, wait, no. For them, it's golden opportunity to pretend this is how it's supposed to be. That this isn't some embarrassing cringe trash, it's the new normal. Because AI isn't just about replacing people and saving on labor, it's the perfect excuse to milk dumb consumers with zero effort. The formula? Slap AI on a toothbrush and suddenly it costs more. You don't want an AI rice cooker? Why not? It what? Comment on how you cooking? They trying to shove AI into every damn hole and charge extra for it. But who asked? Huh? And the truth is, no one knows why it's even needed. Did anyone really ask for it? Well, they maybe don't care. They can ask extra charge. AI search engines tell you to drink poison or literally kill yourself. It's just one more reason this is humanity homemade cyber antichrist. Mark my words. Adobe, in full-on audacity, mod declared that everything you create with said tools now belongs to them and will be used to train the shitty AI. Meta did the same with Instagram. They actually literally did this. Every time you think the government or some corp wouldn't dare, they dare. Oh, they dare.